So let's get going. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Hanley. I am located in southeastern North Carolina. I'm a little south of Wilmington, just a little north of the North Carolina, South Carolina border. So right on the ocean, and it's about 90 something degrees out here. We've got a heat wave going on. Thank you for joining. This is the Feeling Fit for FSHD program. Again, my name is Frank. I started doing this program back in September of 2022 with June. And we've been doing a lot of exercises. We meet twice a month, the second and fourth Thursdays of the month. We've done, I particularly do Qi-Gong and some Tai Chi exercises. We've had folks on doing yoga, water aerobics, and a variety of other exercises that are useful for folks who suffer with FSHD. My quick story is that I started to notice some weakness in my shoulders back when I was in my late teens. And my early 30s, I developed a foot drop. I went back and forth to several doctors trying to get a diagnosis. And then I ended up at the MDA clinic in New Jersey. And the doctor looked at me, went and got a book, came back out and showed me a picture of somebody with the winged scapula and said, "This is what you have." And that was my somewhat informal diagnosis. Years later, in the 2012, 2013 timeframe, I had moved and I went to Johns Hopkins, the clinic, the MDA clinic there. And the neurologist had me do the genetic test. So I was type 1 FSHD type 1 positive through the genetic blood test. My brother and my sister also suffer with the disease. And currently, if you haven't been on with me before, my current struggles are with stairs. I'm still rather mobile, but my hips are going, my core is weak. Again, I have the foot drop in my left foot. I wear an AFO when I'm out. So it's little by little eating away at me, but I'm still able to do stuff. I practice Qi-Gong, Tai Chi, and Kung Fu. I started doing Kung Fu when I was younger, stopped when I had my family, and then picked it back up in around 2010. And at that time, I also started to learn Qi-Gong. And I found that those two things combined helped me both with my physical strength, coordination, and balance. And actually, the neurologist at Hopkins commented that he didn't exactly know what Kung Fu and Tai Chi were, but that I should continue to do them because he felt that they were helping me fight back against the disease. So we started the program again in 2022. Again, I do the Qi-Gong mostly here, and that's some exercises, stretching, and breathing, abdominal breathing. Another Johns Hopkins story was I was meeting with the neurologist, and he spoke about, he asked me if I was waking with headaches. And at the time, as a matter of fact, I was. So he was concerned that the FSH was affecting my diaphragm. So I went to do some breathing tests, but in the meantime, I went back to my Qi-Gong instructor, and we started doing some breathing exercises that I felt helped both build my immune system and help with my breathing. So I've been teaching those. If you want to go back, we do have on the FSHD Society website, or actually on their YouTube channel, on the FSHD Society YouTube channel, there's recording of all of these sessions that we've done. So if you want to go back, I'm going to do some breathing today, but if you want to go back and look at some of the other exercises and instructors that we've had on over the years, please feel free to do so. So without any further ado, just my disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. I'm a person with FSH. I share my exercises that I have found to help me with others who have FSH. If you're not sure about doing any of these exercises, you can just feel free to watch, feel free to join in, and check with your medical provider if you're really not sure and you want to just get some verification that these are okay for you to do. So without any other things going on, let me just see. So if you guys can, guys and gals, in the chat, if you can put where you're located, just so we can see who's who and who's where today. I like to see where people are calling in from. Again, I'm in southeastern North Carolina, right on I'm about 20 minutes from the Atlantic Ocean. So, so it's always fun to see where people are. Once in a while, we get somebody oh, there we go. Clinton is in Berlin, Germany. So we are global today, which is really cool. So welcome everybody again. And I appreciate you taking the time to join me. So without any other things going on, I'm going to do some stretching today. We're going to work on the neck and the shoulders, arms and the hands, and a little core work. I've got some breathing exercises to do, and then we'll do a mindfulness practice at the end. And then we'll, at various points through the session, I'll stop and take questions if you have questions. I try to do these so everybody can participate. I do most of these exercises seated. You can also do them standing if you're able to. I'm going to do seated demonstrations today just so it's easy for everybody to follow along, okay? But if you want to try to stand, you'll be able to figure out which ones are good to do when you're standing or which are good to do when you're seated. Okay, so let me just get going. So I like to I'll talk about my chair. If you're in a chair, my chair is a little higher than a regular chair, but it's not as high as a pub chair. It's a little height, so my knees are a little lower than my hips when I'm sitting, and I'm able to keep my feet flat on the floor. Hopefully you can see me there. So what I want to do first is just a couple of neck exercises for the neck and the traps. The traps are the muscles in the back of your neck. So if you can with me, we will look all the way as far as you can look to the right, and then come back to center, and then look all the way as far as you can to the left, and come back to center. And we'll just do this a few times just to get things going. Don't overstress. Just get a nice, gentle stretch in your neck. You don't try to look all the way around. Just look as far as you can. The other thing is with your eyes, if you're able to do this, your eyes are looking straight ahead as you turn your head. And when you get as far as you can with your neck, let your eyes continue to travel all the way into the corner. So you're looking as far behind you as you can. Then when you're going to come back around forward, bring your eyes to center first and then turn your head back. So I call it letting the eyes lead. So to the left and back to center, and then to the right and back to center, to the left, back to center, to the right, back to center. Let's do two more. Left side, to the center, to the right side, and back to center. One more. Left. Look all the way behind you. Bring your eyes forward to the center, and one more time to the right, and back to center. Next exercise, take your ear and touch your shoulder. Keep your chin up. Don't do this, do this. So head to the shoulder, back to center, right side, back to center. Again, keep your chin up, left side, and the right side. You should feel a nice stretch on the open side of your neck. The left, Back to center to the right. Back to center to the left. Center to the right. Back to center. Two more, left side. Center, right side. And last one, left side. And the right side. And back to center. We're going to go up and down. So put your chin into your chest, let your head hang. You should feel some stretch in the top of your upper back. Stretch down. And then we're going to look up, but we're not going to crimp the back of the neck. We're going to take our chin and push our chin out like a turtle who's poking his head out of his shell. All right, you don't want to push your head all the way back and crimp your neck. You want to push your head out to stretch the muscles here. Stretch, and then relax back to center, and now go down. Let your head hang, let the weight of your head help stretch those muscles in your upper back. And look up and back to center, and then stretch out again. Push your head out, like I said, the turtle looking out of his shell. Stretch out, and then back down to center, and look down. Push your chin into your chest. Let your head hang. Back up to center. Stretch out again. Relax, back to center, and look down. Back to center, stretch up. Back to center, down. And let's do one more, up. And back to center. All right. My chair has no arms. If your chair has arms, fine, just don't whack your elbows. My arms are hanging down at my sides. What we're going to do is some shrugs for the shoulders. So it's a simple shrug up and back down, shrug up and back down, shrug down, shrug down, shrug up, down, straight up, down, two more, up, down, up, down, last one, up, and down. Now we're going to come up and roll the shoulders forward, roll forward, up, roll forward, up, roll forward. Up and roll, up and roll. Now come up and roll back. Stretch your chest a little too. Roll back, up, roll back, up, roll back, up, back, back. Two more. Up, roll back, up, and back. Last one. Up and back. Okay. Last short shrug is we're going to shrug up and hold it for a count of 5 and then release. Okay. So up, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. 2 more. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. Last one. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Okay. Last shrug exercise. I think I said the other one was last, but I just thought of one more. So what we're going to do is we're going to alternate. So right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side. Just keep alternating. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. 2 more. Right, left, right, left, and last one. Okay. Anybody out there have any questions with any of these neck or shoulder exercises that I just did? If you want to, you can type it into the chat and I'll pick it up when I circle back to the chat. Right. So if you want to do that when you have a chance, that's great. Okay. All right, let's move on. The next one is for our arms, our biceps, and our forearms. What I'd like to do is hold your hands in front like I am here and cross your hands at your wrists. Make 2 fists. My left hand is on the outside, right hand on the inside. What we're going to do is we're going to pull in with the left as we push out with the right. So it's a nice isometric exercise for our shoulders and our arms. All right, so we're going to push for a count of 5. You want to struggle, but don't overdo it if you haven't done these before. So push and pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Take a breath. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Take a breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out of your nose. Inhale and push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Exhale. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. 2 more. Push and pull. Relax. Last one. Relax. Shake it out a little. Now, switch hands. Right hand is on the outside, left hand is on the inside. Pull in with the right, push out with the left. Ready? Inhale and push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Inhale. Push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. 2 more. Inhale. Push and pull. Or pull and push, depending on how you're looking at it. Relax. Last one. Inhale. Push. Nice and tight. And relax. Check it out. Okay, good. Next one is just for our hands. I like to do this. So if you can make a fist as tight as you can, and inhale, tighten your fist, and now exhale and real tight fists and forearms, and exhale strong. Now inhale, open your hands as wide as you can. Fists, open. Fists, open. So we squeeze and we stretch. Squeeze, stretch. Squeeze, stretch. Squeeze, stretch. Last one, squeeze and stretch. All right, shake them out. That'll get the blood flowing in your fingers. Okay, good. Everybody with me? Thumbs up. All right. Take a little. It's going to take a little water break. You have a drink. Indulge. If you can, while we're doing these, just breathe in and out through your nose only. All right. We tend to be, some people tend to be mouth breathers. I like to use your nose for what it's intended for. All right. So we breathe in and out through our nose while we're doing these exercises. The next thing I like to do is side bends. Let me sit back in my chair. So this is going to work the side muscles here. We're going to try to keep your butt in your cheeks in the seat and just lean down to one side. Try to touch the floor, but don't take your cheek off of the chair. And then come back to center and then go down the other side. So stretch those muscles in the side. Back to center. I'm going to the left. Stretch in here. Back to center. To the right. And up. And stretch. And up. And stretch. And up. Left side. And up. Right side. And up. If you want to do these standing, just let your hand run down your side. Try to touch the side of your knee. And then come back to center. Run your hand down the side. And come back to center. You can even do these lying down. You're lying down, let your hand just slide down to your knee. Back up. Down to your knee. Down to the floor. And back up. If you want to add a little resistance to this and you got a couple little dumbbell weights, you want to hold them in your hands while you're doing this. That's fun to do too. Add a little resistance to strengthen your sides up a little. Let's do two more. All the way down, touch the floor with your fingertip. Come on back up. And all the way down to the other side. And come back up again. Okay, so that works the sides and some of the back muscles. We're going to do some front core. I'm going to move my chair back a little so I don't whack my head on the table. All right. So this one is for the abdominals and the back muscles. What we're going to do is if you keep your hands in your lap, just in case you need to push yourself back up again. We're going to just inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to come forward. And then we're going to inhale on the way back up. Just sit back up straight in the chair. Now I'm sitting on the edge of the chair. If you need to sit back for stability and you need the arms for stability, that's fine. Just be aware of that. Also, I forgot to mention, it's wise not to use a chair with wheels, like an office chair, not a mobility device. Some kind of, because wheels, I always say doing exercises in a chair with wheels is an accident waiting to happen. So, okay, so this one again is we lean forward. Now, if you open your legs and are sitting on the edge of the chair, you can kind of get your shoulders in between your knees and get more of a stretch down, if you will. I'm going to move my chair back a little more because I'm really close to the edge of the table. So if you exhale on the way down, and then you inhale on the way up, and you get to center. Okay, I'll call that 0. We get back to 0. We exhale on the way down. And we inhale on the way up. All right, if you're at 0 now, then don't lean all the way back with pivoting at your waist. Pivot, bend your lower back to get a stretch up here. If you can do that. And then come back up to center, and then exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up. When you get to center, stop inhaling and just stretch back a little bit. And then come back to center, and then exhale on your way down. Inhale on the way up. Stretch. Exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up. Stretch back. And then exhale on the way down. Now I keep my hands here just in case I need to push myself back up. All right. If you don't need that, fine, just leave them resting here. But just for safety and stability, I like to keep my hands on my knees. All right, let's do a couple more. Down. Up. Stretch back. Back to 0 and exhale on the way down. Up. And back. And back to center. Okay, so if you're standing and you're doing that, you're obviously bending. Let me do a standing version real quick for people that might be. So you're going to come forward, touch your toes if you can, keep your knees tight. Don't bend your knees too much. And then as you come back up, stop it, turn, and then stretch back. And then come back to 0, exhale on the way down. You could go all the way down, you could go this far, it doesn't matter. And then come back up. Stop inhaling at 12. And then lean back, and then come back forward and down again. Exhale down and inhale on the way up. All right, so you're getting the full benefit of that. If you're standing, if you're seated, you're not going to get that stretch in your legs as much as you would if you were standing. All right. Okay, so that's that chunk of exercises, stretching, however you want to look at it. We did the neck, side to side, touch the ear, up and down. Okay. Shoulders, we did the shrugs, roll forward, roll back. We did the shrug and hold, and we did an alternate. We did the isometric with the arms. We did the fists, open and close. side bends, and then the front bends. So anybody have any questions or anything that you might want to share with the group here? Let's see if anybody happened, anybody joining us. If you're just joining, maybe, we can't see here. 7, okay. Maybe join late if you want to put in the chat where you're located. That would be great. I have 2 screens going here and I lost my mouse, so can't seem to figure out where it is. There you are. Okay. All right. Okay. The next things that I want to do is I would like to do some breathing exercises. Breathing is, I'm going to do 3 types of breathing today. And if you didn't know that there are 3 types of breathing, you're going to learn some interesting things today. So normally, when we are born, we're abdominal breathers. We breathe with our belly, abdominal breathing, belly breathing, diaphragm breathing. As we get older, as we grow, we become chest breathers. All right. So we all breathe pretty much right here. What we're going to do today is we're going to get back down into doing some abdominal breathing. And then what we're going to do is some what's called reverse abdominal breathing. So abdominal breathing, if you are breathing here, start breathing down here. So you want to move the diaphragm down and expand the torso. So you just, instead of here with these shallow breaths, we want to inhale again through our nose, in and out through our nose. And you want to expand the torso. One of my mentors calls it 6-way or 6-directional breathing. So you breathe out, front and back, side to side, up and down. You expand your entire torso when you inhale, and then you squeeze everything back down again when you exhale. So the abdominal breathing, the abdominal part of it is, or diaphragm breathing, is when you inhale, you push the diaphragm down. So if you could, it feels almost like you're, when you squeeze your butt cheeks, you're pushing down on your abdominal floor. And then when you exhale, you tighten, you pull your diaphragm back up and tighten your abdominals nice and tight as you exhale. So if you can see my shirt, blows out and then squeezes back in again. So I'm going in and out. Now this is really good for the breathing, number one. It's good because we're breathing in and out through our nose. So we're processing that air. We're getting our sinuses and everything involved in conditioning the air before it gets in. Remember, your nose is a filter, right? And we're inside, the air conditioning's running. You're going to collect a lot of dust. It's even worse in the wintertime if you have dry heat, right? You want to keep the air going in and out moist. If you are a nose breather, or a mouth breather rather, you're not filtering the air, and you're going to end up with a dry throat a lot of times. So we try to stay being a nose breather, at least for the hour you're with me. Okay. So the other benefit of this is that as we're pushing, expanding, and squeezing, we're working all of our organs. We're giving them a nice massage as we expand and compress. Again, you can see my shirt. Pulls out, squeezes back in again. So that is giving everything inside a nice massage. All right, our liver, our spleen, the stomach, intestines, your kidneys in the back. All right. So abdominal breathing, again, we're going to breathe from here, not from here. All right. So try it with me. We're going to inhale. You want to focus on this getting big. And I'm going to use my hands to kind of articulate this a little bit for you. All right. So inhale. And just don't do a little inhale. It's not a sniffle. It's an inhale. I count to 5 in your head as you're inhaling and filling up. And then the same 5 to exhale and squeeze. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now, this might feel a little uncomfortable to you also because you're not used to doing it. It takes a long time to be able to do this and not have it feel like, wow, this is really difficult or it's really hard to do. It's got to do with muscle memory and it's got to do with you because it feels uncomfortable because you're not. I'll use the analogy of handwriting. When you first learn to write, your fingers hurt from holding the pencil because you were holding it real tight and you had that big callus on your one finger, right? It's the same thing with this, right? It takes a while. It hurts a little bit in the beginning until your body gets used to it, right? Your body's not used to it. It's like any type of exercise, right? So let's do like 10 of these and we'll see where we are after 10, all right? So we're going to inhale and expand, and we're going to exhale and squeeze. Inhale, push out, push down on the diaphragm, push down on the abdominal floor. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, expand. Exhale, compress. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now you can have some fun with these as you get better at them. I'll share this with you. You can inhale for a count of 5 and exhale 1. So inhale slow and then exhale fast. Blow that out, compress real quick. And you can do the opposite of that. You can inhale real quick and then exhale slow. So you can inhale for 5, exhale for 2. You can do all kinds of variations with that. All right. The other thing you can do is work on inhaling for a count of 5, maybe for a couple of weeks, and then go to 7, and then go to 10, and then go to 12, and then go to 15. So you're stretching out everything and then squeezing it all back down again. And it's not breathing slower for longer. It's breathing the same amount as you are when you're counting 5. It's just you're starting to increase your capacity as you go, and you're starting to stretch so you can hold more air. And you'll start to feel a warning. Don't do these before you go to bed because you'll get oxygenated and you'll be like buzzing and it'll be hard for you to fall asleep. So you want to try to do these in the morning or during the day. And you can do them anytime. As you can see, we're just sitting here and we're doing these breathing exercises. So you can do them in the morning with your coffee, in the afternoon, whatever you might be doing, sitting with friends or whatever, in the evening, watching TV. Again, just don't do them too late in the evening before you go to bed. All right. So that's abdominal breathing. The other one I'll show you is what's called reverse abdominal breathing, or another name I've heard it called is moderate fire breathing. So this is where we do the opposite of that. We compress as we inhale, and then we just relax as we exhale. So you inhale and tighten, and then exhale and relax. Inhale, tighten, exhale, relax. So it's the opposite way of that. And there's more to that, but I just wanted to show you. We'll get into that maybe the next time I'm on board here and we're doing breathing. So abdominal breathing one more time. Inhale for a count of 5. Expand the torso. Try to push down on the diaphragm. Push down on your abdominal floor, the pelvic floor. Fill your torso with air. and then squeeze it out as you exhale. Inhale, exhale. And if you go back to, again, the YouTube channel, I do more of that, and I actually start to couple some other exercises in with that. Okay, so that's abdominal breathing and a quick introduction into reverse abdominal breathing. The last thing I want to do with you guys today is a mindfulness exercise. We had a session that we did a couple of, I guess it was last month. We did a safety thing for the summertime. And I wanted to do this mindfulness exercise then. But we kind of ran out of time because we had a really good conversation on walking sticks. I don't know if anybody uses walking poles when they walk, walking sticks, but we had a really good conversation because with summer and traveling and us having difficulty navigating sometimes because of foot drop or just weakness in the lower part of our bodies. So you might want to jump back and watch that video. There's some good conversation on using walking sticks when traveling. Okay, so this mindful exercise, I'm going to do the exercise and I'll kind of give you the background on it. So if you hold your hand in front of you, like I am, where you've got an L here, and just for the first minute of this, I want you to just focus right on your top of your thumb. Just focus on it, look at it, and just breathe normally. But just take a time and just focus and look at the top of your thumb. Okay. Take your focus and drop it down, and now focus on the inside of your hand. So focus on the inside of your hand. Look at your fingertips. Look at the spaces in between your fingers, the lines that are made where your knuckles are, the lines inside your palm and your thumb. Just look at that hand. Focus on it. Look at all the little features in your hand. Now, focus on the top edge of your hand here. The top edge. Look at the top edge and just over that horizon, if you will. Just look at right over what's over on the other side of the top edge of your hand. And now take a look beyond that. So, as if you were, what's the next thing behind your hand, right? For me, it's my computer, but you might be able to turn like I can. And now I'm looking at a window. So the next thing I see is the windowsill, the blind. Right, focusing on right is the next thing. I'm not looking out the window. I'm looking at the window. I'm looking at the wall. Just the next thing that's behind my hand. And now, what's the next thing behind that? Now I'm looking out the window. There's a tree and there's a shrub very close. The next thing that's there. For you, if you're looking at your computer, it might be the wall behind. Okay. It might be a piece of furniture that's just behind your computer. What's the next thing that you see, the next layer behind? All right. So I'm going to turn and look out the window because it's looking at myself too much in the computer. So the next thing, like I said, is my tree and my shrub. And then the last layer is to look beyond at the horizon. So I've got my neighbor's house across the street and the trees behind his house. Okay. So just take a focus on what's the furthest distance thing that you could see. Your hand is still here in the foreground, but you're looking way beyond what's way out there. All right, now bring it back. Bring it back to my tree. Bring it back to my window. Bring it back to the edge of my hand itself, and the thumb. So this mindfulness exercise, the application of this, if you will, is pretty interesting. Because what I like to do, and let me give you the background on this, where this is coming from. My neighbor, years ago, well, not too long ago, my neighbor, we tend not to be mindful in the house. We tend to be comfortable in the house. We tend to be able to feel like we can move around the house easily, no threats, no danger. Where most of the time, the accidents that we have happen in the house. We stumble over something because we are just comfortable in that environment. So the story here is my neighbor was doing, emptying her or putting in or emptying the dishwasher and was doing something over to the side, forgot that that door was open and turned and fell over the door and ended up breaking her hip. All right, big problem in her house, right? The safest place you would think it would be. So what the idea of this exercise is to be mindful of right here. Your thumb is right here. And then what's the next thing I'm thinking? So if you're standing, you're right here. And what's the next thing? And then what's the next? So if you started to go out in layers, where is the danger? Where is the threat as I start to look out? Now, I'll use the example. You're driving on a trip and you got to stop to pee. So you pull into the rest stop and you're looking for a parking space. You're looking to where the handicap spot might be. You're looking for where the building is. You're not looking at anything else other than what you need, right? What you need to see at the time. Here's a parking space. Here's this. So this mindfulness exercise helps you take a step back and say, okay, I'm pulling into the parking space. Where are the threats? Okay, because we are more vulnerable than most, all right? Where are the threats? Is there a guy over there with his dog on a leash that's running around that I might have an issue with? Or some kids running around, or this guy's pulling out of a parking space, or he's too close. What's here in front of me? What's the next layer? So I pull into that parking space. Now I'm here. What's the next thing around me that I got to be mindful of? What's the next thing beyond that I have to be mindful of? All the way to the building, right? Okay, so everybody kind of see where I am with that, doing that mindful exercise. You can do it, not focusing, I use this as the example, but in the real world scenario, I'm sitting here, okay? What's around me, right? I got the dog on the floor behind me. He's taking his nap right there, okay? I might get up quick and step on him. He jumps up, I fall down, right? Be mindful of what's around you because you never know. Something changes. You forget about something. You're talking on the phone. My point is, for all of us, we need to be way more careful and way more cautious than most other people. And again, this little mindful exercise, start to see the world in layers, right? What's the closest threat to me? What's the most furthest away threat for me? And it doesn't always have to be a threat, but you're at least cognizant of what's going on around you, right? And it's not always what's in front of you either. Like they say on the airplane, closest exit may be behind you, right? So if you got to do a 360 sometimes too to check what's around. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I'm going to open up the floor if anybody has any questions or any comments or any stories you want to share. We've got a few minutes left, so feel free to hop on.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, who's speaking?
Donna.
Donna. Oh, okay. Donna, thank you. Thanks for joining. It was fun to finally connect with you.
Yeah. Very nice session.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks. And thanks for your helping out with the program also. I appreciate that.
Oh, I enjoy doing yoga with people. It helps me. And as long as we keep moving, I think we're good.
Yep. Motion is medicine. Right. Anyone else? Yeah, Clinton, go ahead.
Yeah, I was a friend of mine opened a Tai Chi studio in Shanghai and then visited him. And also there, I mean, I'm starting to learn Tai Chi now. And also this question of belly breathing or abdominal breathing seems to be of great importance. Why is that? Why is that so important?
It's breathing is one of the few things that we do automatically, or we can do it consciously. So by controlling our breathing, we can do a lot of other things. It's very healthy to be able to do that. And you know, if you think about it, like all the different phrases there are about breathing, right? Hold your breath, catch your breath. I mean, there's all these phrases about breathing where you kind of take it for granted, but there's a lot behind that. So what the breathing does, again, the abdominal breathing, it engages your diaphragm again. Your diaphragm is a huge muscle here that pretty much no one uses, right? By engaging that muscle, expanding and contracting up and down, we're working the lungs, we're increasing the lung capacity, all right? We inhale and exhale deeper, so we get in more oxygen and we release more toxins, if you will, the things our body doesn't need when we exhale. I don't want to say them all toxins, but for lack of a better word. And again, we get that exercising down here of all that. And if you're doing Tai Chi, you are very conscious of if I'm doing a movement, and that movement might involve a sweeping of the hand and a stepping, right? So I tie the movements when I'm doing Tai Chi, if I'm doing a movement that's inward, I'm inhaling. And then if I'm doing something outward, I'm exhaling. I'm stepping out, I'm pushing. Inhale. So we tie the breathing in to the stepping and the arms. Well, pretty much Tai Chi, the stepping and the breathing are the important parts. The arms are kind of waving around for. So how much Tai Chi have you done?
About 2 weeks Tai Chi.
2 weeks.
Step
Okay.
back,
So
you know. And the thing is, and he was, I cannot do Tai Chi standing. So the thing is now to start doing it in it where I'm seated, and now it's started with belly breathing and the hands, learn how to put the hands and yeah. So I started. I did actually wasn't so interested, but then my friend opened the studio and I was in Shanghai, and so I'm very very amazed and what it does and yeah, but like I said, as for me it's learning just a few movements now. It's not really like
okay.
some people they can, I mean I will, yeah, I mean
So if you're doing seated Tai Chi, it's a little bit more of a challenge because it's a matter of also moving your energy around. And I'm not going to get into it too much, but the breathing, there's the three components of it is the movement itself, and where your energy is at any point in time. Because when you're doing particularly stepping, Tai Chi stepping has got a lot to do with keeping your balance, keeping your center. All right. So
Mm.
you have, and you're pushing your energy down. So you're very light on top and very heavy on the bottom. So that's the whole thing. And the breathing, when I'm inhaling, I'm bringing the energy up into my body. And when I'm exhaling, I'm pushing the energy back down into the earth. So
Right.
that's another cycle that you can think of, is I'm breathing, I'm drawing energy up from the earth. And then when I exhale, I'm pushing the energy into the dantian, into my chi spot. And I'm also pushing used energy out of my body back into the earth or back into the universe, wherever you're sending it. So that's why the breathing's important. It just keeps your body in. It's more like it's kind of like, if you want to think of it too, like music. It's the timing, the rhythm of the movements.
Mhm.
So
Right.
there's a lot, and again, the biggest benefit is the oxygen that you're going to get from it. Because if I do some advanced breathing techniques with people, you're winded at the end and you're very, very aware. It's like, taking a 3 cups of coffee. You're very wide awake, and it's just amazing what the oxygen does when it hits your system. So,
Okay.
good question.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
I must say my Chinese, I mean, I speak a little bit Chinese. It's not so great. So thank you for your explanations on it. But yeah.
Sure, no problem. Good luck with your training.
Yeah, I'm gonna join you again. Is that okay? I mean, I'm not in the US, but uh, if I keep joining this class, is that okay?
That's fine. Twice a month.
Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Hop right in.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyone else have anything? Otherwise, we are right at the edge of the time here. So I will thank you all for coming. I'm not even sure when the next session is. In July, I'm going to be traveling. I will not be back online here until probably September. I've got family vacation lined up, so I'm taking July and August off. So if you're here, I think the 12th, let me see, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 4 and 7 is 11th. The 11th or 12th of July will be the next session here. I don't have my calendar in front of me. I apologize. But you're welcome to come back. If you're not, get onto the FSHD Society's website, and you could register for this course, and you'll get an email reminder when the class is coming with the Zoom link, so you can hop right on. Okay. Anybody else? Going, gone? All right. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. And be safe and stay cool.
I thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. Bye now.